In our first story, the Christian Council of Ghana is calling for sanctions against the Electoral Commission chairperson and her 2 deputies if they are found culpable in the ongoing feud at the commission. The Asante Region Regional Chairman, Reverend Dr. Kofi Amfuakono, believes the law must be applied without any prejudice.
There are concerns, especially among governance experts and political analysts, the internal rift could dent the EC's otherwise positive international image. Reverend Amfo Akono, however, wants Ghanaians to exercise patience as due process is followed to get to the bottom of the matter. He was speaking at the 35th Annual Delegates Conference of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana Men's Fellowship in Kumasi.
There is nobody who is about the constitution of our nation, the laws of our nation. The president himself has vowed that he is ready to bring himself down before this country and before any competent court if he is found to do something that goes against our own constitution and against the laws of our land. And so if the EC is found, if the EC, the chair, and the other commissioners are found to be culpable in any way, they must be brought before the court. And I think this is very clear. Nobody is above the law. The only thing I want to say is that we need to take our time. We need to go through the processes so that we would be seen to be law-abiding people.
Reverend Amfo Akono impressed on churches and other religious bodies to support government in the ongoing fight to protect the environment.
In fact, the church must be interested. We have no business if we are not interested and we are not ready to help the government clamp down this menace that is destroying the very fiber of our society, because water is life. The forest is life. We have been talking about the fact that when the last tree dies, the last person dies. And trees are quite important. Why are we destroying ourselves by destroying our water bodies and our forest? So all these things we are discussing for the last these 3 days before us.
Nanasa Sumensa reporting.
So the next story, Ghana risks losing valuable wildlife if plans to mine bauxite in the Etiwa Forest Reserve in the eastern region doesn't go forward, but we'll bring you a lot more on that. But we also have to look at some other stories. And in politics, Acting General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, John Boedu, has bad calls by the party's national youth organizer for government appointees to give preference to NPP supporters during recruitment. Mr. Boedu stated it is fair to give available jobs to people who believed in the dreams and aspirations of the party first. And he was speaking on the sidelines of the 2017 NPP Greater Accra Regional Delegates Conference that took place at the Trade Fair Center here in Accra. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
To our MPs, the issue is that not all of us can be government appointees, but it's important that once we support our government appointees, they must also take care of us well. There is no threat that if you are recruiting people, you should not recruit your party people first. There's no threat in that. When the NDC took their supporters to South Africa, World Cup 2010, we did not complain. When they took their supporters to Equatorial Guinea, we didn't complain. When they took their supporters again for Brazil, we did not complain. So this time around, when we are taking ours to Russia, they shouldn't complain.
That was the national youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Samia Wuku, urging government appointees to give preference to party supporters during recruitment. Acting General Secretary of the party, John Boedu, says there's nothing wrong with prioritizing his party supporters over others. Similar calls have generated debate in the past, But Mr. Boadu stated it is fair to give the jobs and contracts first to the people who believed in the dreams and aspirations of the party.
If there is Senate appointment, there are others that didn't believe that the NPP can deliver. There are others, when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo over the years was saying that there's a need for us to have free SHS. There are others that didn't believe. So if now we are implementing it, and there will be one hot meal per school, you want me to give the contract to an NDC person who didn't believe it? No. We will give it to somebody who believes in the program and policy so that we can deliver our objective. That's all that we are talking about. So it is, for instance, the NDC had implemented the school feeding program for some time now. People are complaining about it. Their term of office has ended. The term has ended. So if they are recruiting different caterers, obviously, MPP people, as we are, we even know how to cook better. You understand? So there's nothing wrong in getting our people to be part of this government program.
The Regional Delegates Conference, which is the first biggest meeting of the party since its victory in the 2016 elections, brought together many party stalwarts, including the Chief of Staff, Firima Osei Opare. Madam Opare had some assurances for the party supporters.
My first statement was, I am here at Greater Accra, and I want to assure you that in spite of my national assignment, Greater Accra is my home. And Greater Accra, when your mother is in the kitchen, there is no way that you will go home.
Acting Party Chairman Freddie Blay urged party supporters to back the Akufo-Addo government as the party fulfills its promises of political and socio-economic transformation.
Victory has its own frustration, and sometimes impatience also sets in. But our party is resolute. You who are the core members of the party are supposed to maintain your calm.
Former Member of Parliament for Yawaso Central, now Chairman of the National Hajj Board, Sheikh Isikwe, has always used the occasion to throw some jabs at the NDC.
We won with Gala 1.5 million Gala. So what we get again? You have nowhere to go again.
Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Obama.
And still on the NPP, the Northern Regional Chairman of the party, Daniel Bugri Naabu, has blamed NPP parliamentarians in the Northern region for creating confusion similarly in the party. He said instead of working to support the president achieve his development agenda, they were rather working against him. Addressing party functionaries at the Northern Regional Delegates Conference in Tamale, Mr. Bugri Naabu said issues arising from the appointment of the coordinator for the Ghana school feeding program is tearing the region apart.
Mr. Chairman, National Chairman, in this region, there are bone of contention, everyday problem. And I'm happy you are here. And I'll tell you, if you don't go and do the work and the region is collapsed, don't say it's from me and my regional executive. We have done our best and we have showed demonstration about that. School feeding program is destroying Northern region. School feeding program is destroying Northern region. You, National Chairman, President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, told me whom you want, and it was well known to the pet, everybody here. But today, every day, trouble, I can't sleep. The truth is always the best, Mr. Council of Chairman. So, I'm telling you that Northern region, Bugri Naabu and regional minister, we don't have problem. Even if you have, it's because of communication gap, but there's no problem.
And the Northern Regional Minister Salifu Said on his part called on all who contested various positions but lost to liaise with their MMDCs to enable the government find jobs for them. Well, let's move on to the subject of mining. And as I was telling you earlier, Ghana risks losing valuable wildlife if plans to mine bauxite in the Etiwa Forest Reserve in the Eastern region materializes. And that's the fear of a scientist at the Forest Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Dr. Caleb Ufori-Boateng says it is the price the country will have to eventually pay if the proposed $15 billion Ghana-China joint venture is undertaken. He was speaking at the 17th Amphibian African Working Group meeting in Kumasi. Kwesi Debra has more.
Kwame Alfred and Kojo Saria are constructing a pavement for an office complex. The site used to be waterlogged and marshy, home to the African common toad known scientifically as Amyotophrynus regularis. There used to be large numbers of the amphibians. Human activity has, however, forced them out, leaving only a few which take refuge in this gutter. According to environmental group Save the Frogs, the country is home to 84 known amphibian species. Unfortunately, they are becoming extinct due to mining and other forms of pollution by human beings. Dr. Mark Oliver Roder is head of Science Department, German Museum of Natural History.
In West Africa, we have a really huge diversity of amphibians, as we have also with other groups of organisms. Though amphibians are actually indicating a particular richness for all different groups of plants and animals. But the highest concern we need to have is that the primary habitats are disappearing at an enormous rate. Though in particularly forests, but also other areas are continuously vanishing. Though primary habitats are converted into agricultural areas, into plantations, or they are mined, and that usually means that those species which are special for the area and which are special for a particular habitat and only occur here will disappear. And with these species, it also disappears everything what the species can do. So, for example, if a frog produces a particular interesting substance, which may in the future be important for cancer treatment, and we know something like that exists already, it will not be available anymore to us. And there is very many areas in West Africa which are extremely threatened to disappear completely, though a forest in the lowlands is already a very worrying thing if it's disappearing. But if you have forests on mountainous areas, like for example Atiwa in Ghana, you have an unreplaceable ecosystem.
Atiwa Range Forest Reserve, said to hold huge bauxite deposit, is one of the priority ecosystems in Ghana. Government's bid to explore Ghana's natural resources, specifically bauxite, finds it in a joint venture with China. There are, however, fears the Atiwa forest will be tampered with. Dr. Caleb Ufori-Boateng is one of the people who are scared.
We are calling on the government to exclude the Atiwa forest from that deal. That is, if it is one of the target forests, they should exclude it. The reason being that it has a very unique ecosystem because of the mountains. And so it also has unique species that you never find anywhere else. And so if we destroy it, we lose those species.
We only have the next...
Amphibian scientists from across the world are in Ghana to discuss progress and way forward in amphibian research and protection. They are hopeful of improved research outcomes in Africa. Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Debra.
Oh, interesting reports there. Kusi Debra, always making it look so good. And government is being warned that its decision to suspend some road contracts awarded by the previous NDC administration could worsen the quality of the country's roads. The Roads Minister recently disclosed to Parliament that Cocoa Road projects awarded by the NDC administration had been suspended to allow for investigations. But former Deputy Roads Minister Isaac Ejay says the claim is not justified. He's asking government to immediately resume the road projects to help bring relief to citizens in those areas.
Road is a continuum. Why I say road is a continuum is that when you construct a road, you need to maintain it. So if you construct a road, 20 kilometers asphalt road, and you don't periodically maintain it, it will go bad. And so when we said we have constructed the road, we need to have a plan to maintain it. We did our bit. The situation of roads in this country was so bad. As I speak to you today, the total road network is about 72,000, 45 kilometers. And so out of this, we have about 42% of these networks being rural roads, on the feeder roads. So that tells you that predominantly majority of our roads or areas are rural. My worry and my concern is that we seem to be getting all these excuses because there's that. Road construction cannot be extended. That's what you have to know. When it rains now, we see all our roads getting bad. So what we're saying is that they should stop all these excuses. I've not seen any deliberate plan or policy or program of NPP now regarding roads. You hear railways, you hear Ghanaians deserve better. The question is, if you suspect impropriety in any of the laws are there, take people through. But those roads, are they not in Ghana? Are they not there? If you think that they have been overpriced, go into the details. But the roads should continue to be constructed. The question is, one, there comes a new board under the new government, Cocoa Board, who comes in and suspend or terminate all projects, all work that has been done by the previous board. That was also a delegated, a legitimate board, to do that. So the question is that, why do you do that? The suspension is unnecessary. It's unnecessary because they have every cause and every reason, every capacity, every resource to investigate the matter. If you think that just Opuni who has misappropriated something or whatever, go into it.
And that's it for the news. We'll be reviewing the newspapers very soon. We'll have a couple of them in the studio. Interesting headlines there. Well, we'll see how that goes. On the front page of the statement, for example, it says that CJ receives petition against EC's Georgina and Sule. And we know that they are the deputy commissioners as part of the current impasse that the current chairperson of the Electoral Commission finds herself in. And we'll do justice to that as we look at those stories. But we'll be reviewing the online portals also as part of the package. We'll be doing all that after this.